Hi, and welcome to my channel. My name is Kim, and thank you for joining me for Vlogmas Day 11. So a little bit about me: I am a reader and a knitter, and for every day for Vlogmas, I am going to review a short story from the Hingston and Olsen Advent Calendar, as well as I will share progress with you. I am knitting Stephen West's Hvammsvik blanket, which is from his latest hybrid knitting collection. And every day I am opening up a mini skein from Polka Creek's blanket advent calendar. So thank you for joining me, and let's get to find out what we're going to be reading and knitting today. So for day 11, the short story today is called Understanding Great Art and the People Who Make It by Alexander Weinstein. So another interesting new to me author. So Alexander Weinstein is the author of short story collections Universal Love and Children of the New World. His short story Saying Goodbye to Yang was adapted as a film called After Yang. And Alexander is the founder and director of Martha's Vineyard's Institute of Creative Writing. So this should be another interesting day of short stories. So for day 11 of the Advent calendar, and I have to tell you, I am thoroughly enjoying knitting this blanket with this yarn. So one of my favorite colors, this is green, and it is called Moss. These are all hand dyed, and they are a mixture of superwash and nylon, and they're DK weight. So I am going to get reading and knitting, and I will report back to you when I've made some progress. So for day 11, I have very mixed, extreme feelings about. Now, this is very much a dark satire, and satire is very difficult to pull off, but I will get to that in a couple minutes. So this is told in the third person. It's divided into 4 sections, and each section is about a different artist. So each section covers a filmmaker, a sculptor, a multimedia paper artist, and a school of painters. So for the first 3 sections, I didn't like this at all. I really thought that the satire pushed it into the absurd. So for the first section, it's about a filmmaker, and the filmmaker only films the mundane daily humdrum tasks and chores of life, and he makes 10-hour films out of this, and people applaud him for it. He becomes very famous, but clearly this is not a film that any one of us wants to do. And the second and the third one definitely follow into that same sort of contradiction and absurdity. So for the second section, the theme of when is a painting actually finished is examined, and the painter only paints half the canvas and leaves the other half unfinished, and that translates, of course, predictably, unfortunately, into his life. So he can only eat half a plate of food and drink half a glass of water. And the third section does that same thing. And it's, I really, really think that the first 3 sections were predictable. And however, the 4th section, if you're following along and you're reading this, I would skip over the first 3 and read the 4th one. The 4th one dips into magical realism and a little bit of fantasy, and it is extremely well done. I wish all of those sections were like that. So I thought I would talk to you a little bit about, because I don't want to leave things on a bad note, because not every short story can be a 5-star short story. But I thought I would talk to you about some of my favorite short stories so far, because we are on day 11. So my favorite so far was day 2 with The Virgin Oyster by Jessica Anthony. It was a very, very fun tale. And I enjoyed number 3, which was Shouting Winky by Peter Orner, which actually had me laughing out loud, as well as number 7, which is Stigmata by Thomas King. I think I have thought about this notion of stigmata and the Catholic Church and residential school problem every day since I have read this short story. And then last but not least, Day 9 was another one of my favorite stories, and it was Cosmic Cul-de-sac by Jade Song, and I have ordered her debut novel, Chlorine, and I can't wait to get to it. So as for knitting, there was one day in which I unwrapped a pink skein, and pink is not my favorite color, but I did in the end decide to put it in, and I think that it looks great amongst all of the other colors. It adds a really nice warm hue to it, and I cannot wait to have this across my lap while I'm reading and sipping coffee and doing some knitting in the future. So that's it for me today. Thank you so much for joining me. If you're so inclined, please like and subscribe and leave me a comment. Let me know how you're doing. And I have set up a Patreon account as well. And I really thank you for your time, and I hope that you join me for Vlogmas Day 12. And I will leave you with some of my favorite things. Bye.